Wednesday, May the 24th, 2017, and this is your Barbados Today afternoon update. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. We begin with news of 2 gun attacks over the past 24 hours, including the brutal killing of a teenager that forced the closure of the St. Christopher Primary School in Christchurch this morning. Police spokesman, Acting Inspector Roland Cobbler, said the body of 19-year-old A.J. Ricardo Smith of Sears Court, Christchurch, was found in a pool of blood just after 6 this morning on the hard courts opposite the school. Reports say the lifeless body was seen by the students on arrival at the school, forcing authorities to shut it down for the day.
We conduct an investigation into the unnatural death of a 19-year-old male, which occurred sometime after 6 this morning at Christopher Christchurch. At about 6:18 this morning, police received a report of a body of a man in a pool of blood on the hard court opposite St. Christopher School. And response report discovered the man deceased with a number of injuries to the body. Investigations continue.
Police are also probing a shooting that occurred late last night at Deacon's Farm, St. Michael, in which a 60-year-old resident was shot multiple times. Up to news time, Theophilus Pyle of Madison Terrace was reportedly still alive after his attackers shot him and fled the scene. Police said Pyle had just parked his vehicle and was getting out when 2 men approached him and fired on him. 3 homeowners are now counting their losses following an early morning fire at First Avenue, Beckers Road, St. Michael, that destroyed 1 house and damaged 2 others. The 1-bedroom dwelling of 45-year-old Fabian Agard was razed to the ground, while a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom wood and wall house owned by 79-year-old Adrian Garns and his 64-year-old neighbor Neville Gittins' 1-bedroom wooden house sustained damage. Close to 300 employees at Ammon Beach Resort could be on the breadline come April next year. That's when work is expected to start on the beaches resorts at the property at Haywoods in St. Peter. The state-owned Barbados Tourism Investment Incorporated says it will not renew its lease with Sandals Resorts International, the operators of Sandals and Beaches, when the contract expires next year. General Manager of Ammon Resort, Craig Smith, told Barbados Today the initial lease was supposed to run for 15 months only, but 3 years later, the BTII continued to operate the property, causing much uncertainty year after year.
The problem is the uncertainty because we're due to close next April. That's the word that we have so far. And each year we've heard that we've been extended. So again, we're going into a period of uncertainty. The sooner we get word on whether we are extended, I think that will make a difference. And obviously there's a perception when people come to a hotel that closing or believe that they're closing is what they can cut back on this and then cut back on that. And that's definitely not our plan, but it's more of a perception thing than anything else which we have to fight against. But so far so good.
BTII's Chief Executive Officer Stuart Lane said Ammon should now be thinking about getting off the Haywoods property by April next year.
Ammon is actually owned by BTI, the brand, and we are very anxious to continue the brand. The brand has been very good to us. There is a lot of brand equity, and we are very hopeful that we'll be able to continue operating at a different location.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Who call and get your yams and potatoes? Wait, my girl, how you want to see for long?
I can't how you keeping, but you don't sell the nation paper no more.
But that paper is selling. This month now I stop selling that. Look, one time I would have made a little dollar on the Sunday sun. But when Sunday night, I still trying to get the weather there.
Well, you know you can't call that the Sunday sun no more. You gotta call that Sunset News. Call at night time that news stale.
People complain that them ain't got nothing in it to read, and the price keep going up all the time. A woman abused me so sick the other day, telling me that she does read Barbados today online for free. I couldn't take that abusing soul, so I switched to my potatoes and yams.
Well, let me tell you, if pork selling, you got to raise pigs. How much for the yams?
Oh, 75 cents a pound.
But that's cheaper than that stale news. Give me...
How much you want?
£1.
Only £1? Anyhow, these eating real good. Let me wrap them up for you. Come.
The Barbados Today, news you can trust.
We're back with news from the region now. Police officers will be placed at all ports of entry in Trinidad and Tobago following an incident on Monday in which disgruntled passengers refused to get off the T&T Express ferry at the Port of Spain port. The incident caused hours in delays. Now, National Security Minister Ammon Dillon has announced the proposed implementation of the initiative to include deploying police officials on board the inter-island ferries themselves.
With respect to the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service getting involved in security insofar as the vessel leaves Trinidad, while the vessel is in transit, and also when it arrives at port in Tobago and vice versa, of course, on the return leg.
National Security Minister Ammon Dillon, as he sought to reassure passengers of the inter-island ferry service that their safety was of utmost importance. Minister Dillon made the announcement following a high-level national security meeting in Tobago on Tuesday.
We're also looking at introducing, through the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, a sort of a canine presence also to, again, to use the canine as a means of deterrence to go through people and so on, and baggages.
As Minister Dillon stated, his commitment to have regular meetings with the THA towards implementation of these and other measures. THA Chief Secretary Kelvin Charles called on the government to urgently treat with the issues affecting the sea bridge.
And on the international scene, the Manchester suicide bomber who killed 22 people at a concert venue packed with children was part of a network. This was revealed by the city's chief of police today as troops were deployed across Britain to help prevent further attacks. Police made 3 new arrests and searched an address in central Manchester in what Police Chief Ian Hopkins described as a fast-moving investigation.
He probably didn't act alone. The suicide bomber who killed 22 people at Manchester Arena Monday night was also known to security services. UK Interior Minister Amber Rudd giving more details Tuesday about the attack at the end of an Ariana Grande concert. Thousands of children and teenagers were there. More than 60 people were wounded, about a third of them critically.
We are grieving, but we are strong. More tributes appearing to those who perished. I'm Lucy Fielder reporting from central Manchester, where more details are emerging about the victims. Among them, a Polish couple who were waiting in the foyer to pick up their daughters. The daughters survived, but they didn't. And Olivia Campbell, who was just 15 years old. We're learning more too about Salman Abedi, the 22-year-old of Libyan parents who was born in Manchester and police believe may have gone on to kill so many people there in a suicide bombing. Officials are now saying he may have travelled to Syria.
Abedi had also recently returned from Libya.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. Also subscribe to our e-paper email updates and like us on Facebook. We are also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, our screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, as well as Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.